Welcome to techivi.com, your solution providers. This is Abhishek, and today we're going to be printing images and contact sheets in Lightroom. So, one of the best features that the Lightroom provides us is the great amount of information that we have for printing and other purposes like book and slideshow functions in it. So, if we want to print a single image, then we can simply do that in Photoshop too, but one of the best features is that we can select multiple images, and for example I can select a couple of images right here, and then we can simply click on the print module over here in order to print all these images. Now as you can see, this is in the portrait mode, so the first thing we're gonna do is make sure that we convert it to landscape. For that we're gonna click on the page setup over here, and first of all we're going to select a printer from whichever we want to print it and click on the properties. Now these properties are not from the Lightroom, and this is pretty specific, and this is whatever printer and driver you use. And so these various tools and things are gonna vary on computer to computer and printer to printer. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that we click on landscape over here, and make sure that if we want we can have any other settings, like we can choose the high quality print if we want to submit these projects and pictures to clients, or we can use standard if we want these prints for catalogs. So we can choose high quality print too, and we can have a target folder for it if we want, and we can browse it to whatever we want. And if we can even save it as default, but I'm gonna leave that unchecked for now, and then we can press OK. So as you can see, we have to make sure that the single image and contact sheet option is selected, and we can get multiple and various types of settings in this right panel over here. The first thing is zoom to fill. If we want our image to occupy the complete dimensions of the picture, then we can simply click on zoom to fill. But actually we should leave some margin, because the picture can actually cut our image from the boundaries, and it can actually destroy our image too in some cases. So if we want, we can choose a boundary of any requirement, and for that we have this layout panel over here, and we can set out the margins for our page in the layout section over here, and we can set margins for any particular height or width that we want. We can increase or decrease it from bottom, top, anything basically that we want. But for now I'm just gonna undo all of that settings. Furthermore, as you can see, we can also set the page grids in this, and which is basically allowing multiple grids to form. And since we have only selected 4 images, then we can select 2 for rows and columns, and as you can see, this gives us our grid format of the page layout. But for now we're going to just set it to 1:1 if we want to print single images on each of the page. And again, there is cell size too. We can actually increase or decrease the cell size from here if we want to, or we can simply click on keep square option over here, which actually makes sure that our picture is square in shape in aspect ratio of 1:1. Further, these are various options that we want. If we want to show grids and other scales, then we can check or uncheck these options over here. Moving on to the page background color, we can actually change any background that we want, but it's actually much better to print on a white background, because that gives us a pretty good contrast of our image. So we're gonna leave that to white, and we can add identity plate as we saw in the slideshow, but for now we can uncheck that too. And if we want, we can also include watermarking too. And one of the great features is that we can add page numbers to each and every of our image, and this gives us This is actually a better option if we are using a catalog, but if you are saying but if you are printing singular images on every single page, then having page numbers actually is not a good idea. Now in print job, actually we can select if we want to print our image or save it as a JPEG file. For now we can just click the printer, and the draft mode printing is actually another way to print. If we want our end product, printing product, to not have a great quality and just have quality for like brochure or catalogs, then we can check that too. But if we want our image to have a good quality, then we should leave that unchecked. And we can actually uncheck the print resolution too, and let Lightroom and the printer decide what the best picture resolution should be for a particular image. So we can simply uncheck that, and we can actually have a print sharpening to standard or high if we want, according to the image, and media type to be glossy or matte. Glossy is actually a premium paper format, and matte is actually cheaper, so it is up to us that what we select. Now one of the most important aspect of printing is making sure that the color space of the printer matches with the color space of Lightroom, because in Lightroom we actually have a screen, and this gives us pretty much a high dynamic color range. But actually when we actually print an image on a paper, then there are limitations and to what extent the color codings and the colors are there present in a printer. And for that, actually Lightroom has created presets and profiles which we can choose in a predefined list over here. For example, if we want Japan color code, then we can select that, or select many other and different formats and presets and click OK, and select any one of them that we want. And as you can see, there will be some minor differences in the color aspects, because what Lightroom does is it actually changes the image with the according to the color aspect of the printer. So we can select anything that we want and make sure that we select a predefined preset according to the printer that we use. And furthermore, we can have some basic adjustments in our image if we want. And finally, we can just click print, or we can create a saved print format if we want to. Or if we want to print, we can simply go ahead and print our image, or we can save this template by clicking on the template browser over here and naming it anything that we want. Because that makes sure that we get a predefined user template, and if we want to print these and if we want to print with an image with these settings, then we can simply open up a template that is predefined preset and go ahead and print our image. So that was printing image in Lightroom. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.